if I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you know, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez.
As boxing fans eagerly look ahead to an exciting 2025, rumors of a historic showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are making the rounds again. While Canelo was the one who put an end to talks about this highly anticipated fight, several months ago, a new obstacle has emerged, a major disagreement between boxing partners. Turkish promoter Alex Sheik and Terence Crawford is now casting doubt on whether the fight will happen in 2025.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Masvidal.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
Canelo Alvarez had previously postponed talks about a potential fight with Terence Crawford, believing they were distracting him from focusing on his unified super middleweight championship bout in September. During this period, Terence Crawford and Turkish promoter Alex Sheik pushed for the fight to happen, but Canelo's responses, which were less than enthusiastic, hindered the presentation and disrupted Sheik's efforts to move forward with the plans.
When you say, I want Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like yes, man type stuff.
Now that Canelo Alvarez has no upcoming fights to distract him, he is fully prepared to negotiate and agree to a bout with Terence Crawford. However, Crawford remains the primary obstacle. Canelo had previously asked for $100 million to fight Crawford, but for a matchup against David Benavidez, he is seeking $200 million, believing that the fight poses a larger risk due to the size difference between him and Benavidez. A while back, Canelo was asked about the payout he would want for facing Crawford, and he mentioned a figure of $150 million to a newspaper. It's unclear whether this was a serious demand or just posturing. It's also uncertain whether this statement led Alex Sheik to abandon his plans for a potential Canelo-Crawford fight.
That's it. He said to me, send to me 2 Ferrari.
As of today, it seems the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is officially off. Those of us who have been following boxing for a long time know that the sport is full of uncertainty, especially during match negotiations. If both sides truly want the fight to happen, it could eventually take place, but for now, Crawford and Canelo are exploring other options. Canelo will face Jermall Charlo on September 14th in Las Vegas. On that same date, the UFC will be holding one of its biggest events ever, marking a significant moment in the world of mixed martial arts.
And he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him.
It's a payday, obviously, but I don't want that fight. I think Teofimo deserves more than me.
He's the king at 140 right now.
Yeah.
Despite interest from promoters, Canelo Alvarez seems to have ruled out a mega fight with Terence Crawford. Canelo recently explained to the media why he requested $200 million for a potential fight against David Benavidez. He stated that the larger payout was due to the increased risk of fighting Benavidez, given the significant size difference between them. Canelo believes that taking on Benavidez poses a greater challenge, and he wants to be compensated accordingly for the risks involved.
40 right now.
Yeah.
Turkey has said that he's not interested in the fight anymore. What's your reaction or your response to that?
Yeah. Wait. Take it easy.
Canelo Alvarez has acknowledged the risks of fighting David Benavidez, calling him an excellent boxer who weighs 25 pounds more than he does, making the fight dangerous. However, Canelo stated that he's not concerned as long as the financial terms are right. He suggested that if the money is sufficient, the fight could happen as soon as tomorrow. To secure the $200 million payout, promoters would need to generate a huge gate, which Turkish promoter Alex Sheik is fully aware of. Taking to his social media, Sheik responded to Canelo's demand by saying that he had heard Canelo say he respects him, but doesn't like the way business is conducted. Sheik responded, "I don't care if he respects me or not," adding that he understands why Canelo dislikes his approach. Sheik explained that he only targets big fights at reasonable cost, so anyone seeking easier battles won't like his style. Sheik also questioned Canelo's fighting skills, suggesting that since his loss to Dmitry Bivol, Canelo has been chasing easier fights. He went on to say, "I'm not afraid to fight Benavidez or Crawford," and added that he believes Canelo has been wasting time by making excuses about large sums of money that can't be paid. Sheik emphasized that he is focused on creating significant fights for the boxing community, while Canelo seems to be focusing on more straightforward, showy matchups.
Canelo's going back and forth with Turkey. And if that fight is off the table, are you really motivated still by becoming undisputed at 54? And yeah, like what's the biggest motivating goal or fight out there if
Terence Crawford has been disappointed by the situation, as he saw a potential fight with Canelo Alvarez as the biggest opportunity of his career, one that would bring him the largest payday. After months of delay, Canelo has now agreed to a $100 million purse, which matches Crawford's demand. However, Crawford has chosen to ask for a larger purse, arguing that he was the one who initially pushed for the fight. He stated that he would have been willing to accept the same purse as Canelo, if not for the way Canelo reacted over the past few months. Crawford's request for a higher purse seems excessive to some, especially considering that he was the one who first expressed interest in the fight. Many feel that Crawford should have been more satisfied with a reasonable offer, as long as the financial terms were fair. It's seen as unfortunate, given that Crawford was initially eager for the matchup and now seems focused on securing a larger share of the purse.
What's the biggest motivating goal or fight out there if the Canelo fight just can't happen?
To be honest, that was my motivation.
Terence Crawford has argued that he has more at stake in a potential fight against Canelo Alvarez. Crawford pointed out that, in addition to the risk of losing his WBA super welterweight title, he also risks his undefeated record of 41 wins and 0 losses. On the other hand, Canelo, with a record of 60 victories to losses and to draws, wouldn't suffer much from another defeat, as he has already experienced losses in his career. Despite this, Crawford is undeniably one of the top pound-for-pound boxers in the world today. He became a 4-weight world champion in August, after defeating WBA super welterweight champion Jermall Charlo, further solidifying his status in the boxing world. With his growing reputation, Crawford is now in a position where he has many potential opportunities ahead of him.
Like, it's crazy and it makes me laugh with all the antics.
Terence Crawford has been linked to several big names for his next fight, including unified super middleweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez. Since Crawford's impressive win against Madoff in Riyadh, these fantasy matchups have become more realistic, but fans will have to wait a bit longer to see Crawford back in the ring. Crawford was initially considered for the previously scheduled February 22nd card, but it now seems he won't be ready to fight until later in 2025. Turkish promoter Alex Sheik, who is behind the Riyadh events, explained, "I tried and pushed to make this fight happen, but Crawford is not ready. It looks like Crawford will need more time before stepping back into the ring."
What's the biggest motivating goal or fight out there if the Canelo fight just can't happen?
To be honest, that was my motivation.
Terence Crawford has a minor health issue and a small injury, but he prefers to wait and fight later in the year, possibly in May or after. Although there's been no official announcement, speculation about a potential super fight is growing. Boxing insiders suggest that if the fight happens, it could become one of the biggest events ever held in Las Vegas. While the details are still being finalized, rumors point to a potential late 2025 fight, with September 16th being a likely date, as it aligns perfectly with Canelo's tradition of fighting on Mexican Independence Day. Fans and analysts are eagerly awaiting confirmation, hoping for a thrilling fight that could reshape the boxing world.